Hi, this is Sean for GuitarLeads.com, and I'm going to start this video off by playing two different sections for you, and I want to see if you can figure out before I start talking about it what it is that distinguishes these two things. Section 2. So, what we are going to be talking about today is repeating patterns. And so the first section was kind of a little bit of a just total random shred fest with nothing repeating and really nothing for the listener to catch on to. The second one was a little bit still of a kind of a self-indulgent shred fest, but it was a little bit more grabby. There are a couple little more hooks and things of that nature in there, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be trying to take patterns and repeat them and develop them, as opposed to just playing a bunch of random nonsense. Because major part of why people listen to music is pattern recognition. So when you hear people talk about a well-written song, they'll talk about the hook, and they'll talk about things that grab them in the tune. And if you listen to that and dissect it, almost all of the time it's a repeating pattern. So I have a couple of them for you to take a look at. And you know what? Let's do this in G minor, in the third position. A lot of them are going to be in pentatonic, so that we can sort of stick from theme to theme. We can kind of stick into the same, we can all kind of plug it into the same network. So the first one is going to be, this is an old blues lick that you hear repeated a lot. And I'll play it for you, and then I'll sort of tell you what's going on here. So you will notice about this lick that it is just a couple of notes repeated over and over again. So the way that you get this lick started really slowly, we're going to play this really slowly, and I am going to get my string dampener on here. So the way that you start this off, we're in third position pentatonic minor here, which puts us in G minor, and what we're going to do is start on the third string on 5, and we're going to bend that up. And what we're going to try to do is bend it up to this D note here. Even that, in and of itself, is a good kind of little lick to get going when you want to talk about repeating things and making them stick. So that's the first part of this lick. And then what you do, you pick those two notes. So bend on 3, on the third string, sorry. Third string, 5th fret, you bend that. I use 2 fingers usually, it helps me out. And then once you've reached that D, you play it on the second string. Now, what I'm going to do is then I'm going to hammer my pinky and then pull it off of 6. So in really slow motion. Now, you might find yourself wanting to pick that 6th note, that 6th fret note there, but you should try to resist that and see if you can get only 2 picks for this entire lick. See if you can watch my right hand here. That's a big part of what helps guys get really fast with this, and it's a good repeating pattern. So now, another thing that you can do with that is instead of playing this D here for your second note and making that a unison, you can play G on the first string. Now, is complicated just a little bit, because then what you have to do in order to complete the lick is hammer your pinky on and then pull it off to D, which is your third of the second string. Hear how that goes? So now what I'm doing is I'm just picking the third string and the first string. Everything that happens on the second string is just a result of a hammer with my left hand. So now this is not only a great repeating pentatonic exercise, but also it's a really good strengthener for your left hand. People who are not strong with their pinkies, this is a great lick for you to just work over and over again. Try to get that pinky working. Because what I see most from students when it comes to their left hand is a weak pinky. So that's something that's great to work on. So okay, so there's that. There's one lick that you can work in order to be able to sort of build up some stuff that's a little bit more hooky, a little bit more repetitive. So let's take something else. We're going to stay in the same key, but what we're going to do is we're going to shift up. So a big part of pentatonic is being able to shift around to different positions, and this will be our first thing that uses that. So watch how I get up to this. I'll do it really slowly. Did you see that? When I got to the third string, I played my 3, 5, and then slid up to 7. You could continue, and you could play those exact same notes in this third position. But there's a specific reason I'm doing this. So when I get up here to these two notes here, the 7 on the third string and 6 on the second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play those back to back. Now by itself it sounds a little bit ooh, but what you do with this, you'll probably recognize the sound pretty quickly, is you vibrato, you shake that really quickly. It's a very recognizable sound, so it's another thing that repeats a lot, and it can be something nice to stick into the middle of your solos in order to get a little bit of listener retention going on. There are several places you can do this, but that's 6, if we're in the key of G minor, 6 on the second string and 7 on the third string is a great place to start. You can also, if we want to stick in the same key, do it on 8 of the second string and 6 of the first string. There are a few different places you can do that. What it is it's a minor third. It's a minor third interval that you're taking it and you're bouncing it back and forth and you're shaking. It's another really good left hand exercise because it gets you doing that quick, sort of twitchy, fast blues vibrato. So, all right, one more lick that has to sort of do with this whole concept. It's going to be a fast sextuplet lick, which means that we're playing 6 notes for each beat. Now, this lick I find interesting for several reasons. First of all, it's a triplet. It's a triplet-based thing. You got that type of thing going on. Secondly, it's divided up in kind of a funny way. You have, sorry about that, 4 notes on your second string, and then 2 notes on your third string. So, alright, literally what I'm playing here again is 6, 3, 6, 3 on the second string, and then 5, 3 on the third string. So now, another thing you'll hear, the more you get good with this lick, and the more you use it, the more you'll hear it around. A lot of guys play this type of lick. And the guys who are really good at it, you'll notice there's something kind of funny that they do. It might be an unconscious thing, but what they do is they get rid of that second note almost. This 3 here. So if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that second note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you could kind of ghost it a little bit, like just barely play it. That's another way you can try to do this. So that's another nice repeating lick. Now the thing is that's another one. You don't necessarily just have to play it on the 2nd and 3rd string. Conforming to pentatonic, I'll play that on the 3rd and 4th string. 4th and 5th string. Let me play the part. Let me play the version of this with a ghosted or an absent second note, really slow. So it sounds more like this. And as I play this faster, I tend to pull off that 6-3. I mean, you can't pick it. But I find it has a little bit more attitude if you learn to pull it off. So these are just some ideas to get you playing some stuff that's a little bit more hooky. Now, of course, you don't want to take this stuff and literally plug it into your playing, the exact way that I'm doing it probably. What you want to do is take it and make it your own. Learning it literally, exactly note for note, is a great way to get a concept down, but ultimately what you want to do is be able to take these things and plug them into your own playing and give them your own style.